Hi friends, this is Erin from Carroll County Public Library in the Outreach Department. It's so good to see you today. Here I am under one of my favorite trees. It's a juniper tree, well, an eastern red cedar tree in my yard, and it's so old. It's way older than me. Oh my. So today we have a story time about trees. I love trees. They're my favorite plant. Before we start talking about trees, let's do our story time song. Do you remember how it goes? We say hello. First we're gonna clap and then we're gonna wave. I clap and sing hello. I clap and sing hello. With my friends at story time, I clap and sing hello. I wave and sing hello. I wave and sing hello. With my friends at story time, I wave and sing hello. Hi friends, here I have a tree on my flannel board. Do you know the parts of a tree? Down here are the tree's roots. They go into the ground and they slurp up water. The tree needs water to drink. And this part is the trunk. The trunk, that's the trunk of the tree. These that go up are the branches. Those are the branches of the trees. And they have, on the branches, they have leaves that grow on stems. So roots, trunk, branches, stems, and leaves. Some trees have leaves like this one. The trees get buds in the spring and then the leaves grow. You may have seen that. And in the fall, the leaves sometimes turn colors and then they all fall off the tree. So in winter, none of the green is there. It's just the branches. My juniper tree has needles. It stays green all year round. It's an evergreen tree. I'm going to share a little bit of this book with you. The title is The Busy Tree. And the author who wrote the words is Jennifer Ward. And the pictures, the illustrations, were made by Lisa Falkenstern. Look, there's a tree. That kind of looked like my tree on my flannel board. This tree is going to lose its leaves in the fall. It's a beautiful big tree. And there's some pictures of this part of the tree. Do you know what that is? The roots. That's right, the roots of the tree. They go deep, deep down into the dirt. And when it rains, the roots soak up the water from the ground. And there are different types of trees, but this tree is an oak tree. And I know that because I see these things on the tree. Do you know what those are? They're a kind of nut called an acorn. And look, different creatures love to eat them. I think these are chipmunks, but I know that squirrels like to eat them too. Wow, this is the trunk of the tree. It looks kind of like the trunk of my tree behind me. And there are creatures crawling up this tree. Yes, even bugs like ants have a home in the tree. They're going up and down the tree. I wonder what they're doing. Hey, do you know what bird that is? A woodpecker. That woodpecker is looking for tasty bugs to eat by tapping the tree, pecking the tree with its beak. I'm going to do this in a little while. Look at these children. They've found acorns. Those are seeds that will grow into an oak tree if they plant them. In fact, Squirrels do that by accident all the time. They get an acorn or another kind of nut like a walnut and they bury it, hoping to find it later to eat. But sometimes they forget where they hid their acorn. And then, guess what happens? In the spring, it starts to grow. There's a tiny baby tree, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go by. You know, friends, different kinds of trees grow all around the world. It's fun to visit other places and see what kind of trees they have. Do you know what this is? I got this at the grocery store. This came from a tree that doesn't grow around here. It grows where it's warm most of the year long, very warm. Do you know what it is? It's a coconut, and it grows from a palm tree. In fact, on my shirt, I have the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom tree, which is a palm tree. And there are coconuts on this tree, and that's what kind of tree this came from, this coconut. Trees grow all around the world, and I have a song about that, an action song. So we need to stand up again and pretend to be trees. And you might want to think about what kind of tree you'd want to be for this. Are you going to be a palm tree and grow coconuts? Are you going to be an apple tree? What kind of tree will you be? Here's our tree roots at the bottom, our trunk, our arms are our branches, and our fingers can be our leaves. Okay, trees, your roots are going to slurp. The roots of the trees go slurp, 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 slurp. The roots of the trees go slurp, 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 all around the world. The trunk of the tree stands stiff and straight, stiff and straight, stiff and straight. The trunk of the tree stands stiff and straight, all around the world. The branches of the tree reach to the sky, to the sky, to the sky. The branches of the tree reach to the sky, all around the world. Here's your leaves. The leaves of the tree soaks in the sun, soaks in the sun, soaks in the sun. The leaves of the tree soaks in the sun, all around the world. The seeds of the trees grow new trees, grow new trees, grow new trees. The seeds of the trees grow new trees, all around the world. Oh my, wait, there's a big wind coming. Whoa, the leaves and the branches of my tree are blowing. The wind is blowing really hard. Woo! Well, friends, you might have trees in your yard or trees in your neighborhood. So it's fun to take a walk and look at all the trees in your neighborhood or yard and see what might be living in the trees and to experience the trees using all 5 of your senses. 5 senses? So we can use our eyes, blink your eyes, to look at trees. Wow, I can see the sunlight shining through this leaf. And this leaf is shaped like a fan. Oh wow, these leaves look like they're pointy and sharp, pokey. Oh, this one's shiny and big and smooth with smooth edges. Hey, this leaf is red. It's not green. Oh, here I see some needles and a little tiny pine cone. Wow, look at the shape of this big tree. Oh, I see some roots of this tree. I better watch out so I don't trip. Hey, the trunk of this one's all twisted. And the trunk of this tree is very bumpy. The branches of this tree looks like the bark is peeling off. Hey, there's a hole. I wonder what's in there. Let's take a look. Ooh, it's hollow inside. I wonder what lives there. This tree lost some branches at some time. I could see where they were. Hey, this tree looks like it ate the fence. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I like to look at trees from a different point of view. So I lay on the ground and look up through the branches, and this is what I see. We can use our nose. Can you wiggle your nose? That's hard. We can use our nose to smell. That's another sense. Can you take a deep breath in through your nose? We can smell trees. I love to smell the needles of this white pine tree. We can use our mouth to taste the fruits of trees. Like, what can you think of? An apple? Oh yes, I like to taste an apple from an apple tree. And there are all kinds of fruits that grow on trees. Can you think of others? Cherries? Plums? Peaches. I love peaches. So we can use our eyes, blink your eyes, to look, our nose to smell, and our mouth to taste. What else can how else can we sense trees? What else can we use? Oh, our ears. There's my ear, one ear, and there's the other one. You have ears too, and we can use our ears to hear. I can hear and listen. I can listen to the trees. Oh, and I can also hear all sorts of creatures that are living in the trees or using the trees for hiding places or safety or protection. I hear lots of birds in this tree. And sometimes I hear the chatter of a squirrel. Hey, listen, I hear a woodpecker. So let's see. So our eyes, blink your eyes, to look at trees. Our nose to smell trees. Our mouth to taste the fruits of trees. Our ears to listen to the trees, the leaves blowing in the wind, and the animals that live in the trees making noise. And then I can use my fingers to touch and feel the tree. I can feel the bark. I can feel the leaves. The bark of this tree is rough. The bark of this tree is smooth. Hey, this one's all shaggy feeling. I like to feel the stems and leaves of trees too. I also like to feel the tree by climbing in its branches. Sometimes I hang upside down, and then I can use my sense of sight to look at the tree from a different perspective. I like to climb. Trees are like nature's jungle gym. I can climb up into the tree. I need to be careful. I climb up and I sit up there and look at the world from above. It looks pretty neat up here. I feel like I'm a bird in the tree. So I use my sense of touch to feel the tree while I'm climbing, and I use my sense of sight so I can see from above. This is a fun book to read. The title is Who Will Plant a Tree? Well, I'm going to plant some trees in a little while, but there are some creatures here that plant trees without even knowing that that's what they're doing. I want to show you a few pages. Oh, what creature is this? Yeah, it's a squirrel with a bushy tail. And look, the squirrel has an acorn. Oh, it's burying its acorn for later to eat, but it forgot about it. And it grew into an oak tree. The squirrel planted a tree. Oh, can you see what animal this is? Oh, yes. And what is it eating? An apple. An apple from the apple tree. A bear ate an apple. And as the bear tripped, running away, part of the apple fell out of its mouth with the apple seed. Oh, wow. Do you know what creatures these are? Ants. Look, they're carrying down a pine nut from a pine tree. It's a tiny little seed, but it can grow into a big pine tree. They're going to put it in their burrow, in their ant nest, and it will grow into a tree. This is one of my favorite pages in this book. It says, a wren flies to her nest with a juniper berry in her beak. That's what I'm under, my juniper tree. Oops, she dropped it. The berry fell, and then the wren bird planted a juniper tree. Maybe that's how this juniper tree was planted a long, long time ago. And these children are gonna plant a tree too. So you could plant a tree. All you need to do is to find a tree seed. You can take a walk in your neighborhood to find them. Now's a good time to find maple tree seeds because they are falling off the trees now. Here are some maple seeds. They fall off the trees like little helicopters. This maple seed might grow into a maple tree. Sometimes I like to have fun with the maple seeds when they're green. I'm silly and I stick them on my nose. They have a sticky part that can stick to my nose. So silly. I'm gonna plant my maple seed in a pot. There it is. I have some dirt. I'm going to put the dirt in, put my maple seed in, and cover it up with more dirt. What other tree seeds can I plant? I know, a walnut. That used to have a big outer green shell, but now it's just the walnut. Let me tuck it in the dirt there. Hey, here's an acorn. Oh, that one will grow into an oak tree. I love oak trees. And I need to make sure that once I tuck my tree seeds into the dirt, that I label the pots. So I remember which tree seed I planted in which pot. This one says walnut. What else does my tree seed need to grow? Rain. And if it doesn't rain, I need to make sure I water it. Lots of water for my tree seeds. And then my seeds also need, yes, the sun. I peeked at my walnut seed. It started to sprout. I put it back into the dirt. And later, it grew into a walnut tree. Here it is, a baby walnut tree. And here's my baby maple tree from my maple seed. And here's my baby oak tree. I planted it in the ground. We're gonna play a game. Are you ready? As you can see, there's a tree on my board. Yes, and this tree is growing all sorts of things, which is why I call it a silly tree. So my silly tree is growing an orange, that's right. An orange. What is this? A pink flower. Since it's growing on a tree, we call it a blossom, a pink blossom. What's this? This might be a little tough. This is an apple, but it's not a red apple. What color is the apple? Green. Yes, there are green apples. Sometimes they're a little sour. And this, do you know what this is? It's a pear. Do you know what color the pear is? Yellow. Ooh, what is this? It's brown like the branches. It's an acorn nut, an acorn. You know, all kinds of nuts grow on trees too. Oh, I almost forgot these. Do you know what those are? Cherries. Yes, red cherries. Well, this is a silly tree because these things wouldn't grow on one tree. An orange grows on an orange tree. An apple grows on an apple tree with other apples. Cherries grow on a cherry tree with other cherries. Same with the pear. And the acorn grows on an oak tree with other acorns. But we're going to play a hide and seek game. So the way this works is I want you to take a very close look at what's on this tree. Okay? See what's growing on my silly tree? Now close your eyes now. Close your eyes. No peeking. Now count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and you will see something's missing from my silly tree. Can you figure out what it is? There's the blossom, the green apple, the acorn, the pear, the red cherries. It was the orange. The orange was missing. Okay, we'll do this again. Take a look, very good look at what's on my silly tree. See what's growing on my silly tree? Close your eyes now. No peeking. Now count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and you will see 2 things are missing from my silly tree. I took 2 things away. I wonder what they are. I see the orange is there, the green apple, the brown acorn, the yellow pear. Do you remember what was red? What fruit was red growing on my tree? There it is, cherries. And do you remember what else is missing? What else was on the tree before we closed our eyes? Did you say flower or blossom? The pink blossom. Wow. You're really good at that game. And you know, friends, you can always play with 3 things first before you go to all these different things on our tree. Maybe you could play that with your grown-up and see if you can trick your grown-up. Hi, friends. You can also adopt a tree in your neighborhood. You can watch your tree all year round. Name your tree, give your tree a hug, and take care of your tree. You could keep a journal of your tree. You can take pictures throughout the year and add that to your journal, or draw pictures of your tree. You can measure your tree, measure how wide it is, measure the circumference, measure around the trunk. That way you could see if your tree's growing. There are all sorts of things that you can journal about your tree. Maybe you can put in your journal what creatures you see in your tree. This is the tree that I'm adopting. This is my special tree. I planted it last fall and I check it to make sure it's growing. This year it has new growth. I can tell because it has light green needles. This tree I've named Henrietta Hemlock. And a hemlock tree is my favorite tree because it's the state tree of Pennsylvania. And that's where I was born and grew up. Make sure that you give your tree lots of love. And don't forget to give it a big hug. Oh, my juniper tree. Story time is over. Let's do our ending song. So we clap and sing goodbye. Clap and sing goodbye. At the end of story time, we clap and sing goodbye. We wave and sing goodbye. We wave and sing goodbye. At the end of story time, we wave and sing goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye. You can borrow all sorts of books on Hoopla about trees. There are many books, nonfiction and fiction books for children, including this one, Trees in Spring, and books on specific kinds of trees, like here's one on an ash tree. This is a book about the different state trees. And here's one that talks about how paper is made from trees. You can also go to Canopy Kids and watch short videos. Here's a video using the book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. That's a fun alphabet book. And here's the Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. So much fun to sing and read. Here's one on Johnny Appleseed and learn how he planted seeds. Here's one on jam made from cherry trees. Remember to visit library.car.org.